Night Saturday with Tim Kavanagh. Tonight, Bess O'Brien. With musical guest Joe Adler. And Oliver Barkley. And now from Alumni Auditorium, here's Tim.
My goodness gracious. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. What a terrific audience. Thank you very much. Folks, welcome to Late Night Saturday. Hey, did you hear this in the music world? Not only did the Rolling Stones take in the most money of any tour in 2006, but they also spent very little, recording the highest profit percentage of any group. The aging rockers credit this to sensible spending, senior discounts, and early bird specials. Yeah. Hey, and a family is suing Disney World because Tigger allegedly struck their son. Yeah. Yes. The lawyers for Disney said this lawsuit is a sham. Our Tigger is a law-abiding citizen, and we have the character witnesses to prove it. Hey, Colorado has gotten so much snow. Well, let me tell you, thanks for asking. Colorado has gotten so much snow recently that a Denver couple is actually selling bags of it on eBay. Yeah, sales, kind of strange. Sales were slow until Snoop Dogg contacted them saying he'd take it all and any heroin too. And Oprah recently opened a new school in South Africa. But it seems that not all the locals are happy about it. Several residents were quoted as saying, "A school? We thought you gave away cars." All right, and in an effort to fight obesity, more schools are sending notes home with kids to alert parents if their children are overweight. Isn't that nice? First, the report card tells you your kid is dumb, and now they tell you he's fat, too. All right, brace yourselves, folks. We have a terrific show for you tonight. We have got Bess O'Brien with us this evening. Plus, we've got musical group Joe Adler is with us. And we also have the musical and comedy stylings of Oliver Barkley. But before we get to all that, all right, go ahead. Before we get to all that, it's time to head up to the studio audience and award a prize. And we do that with Lois the Hot Dog Lady and the word of the week.
If your coffee break bad or you'd like to embellish, we've got a feature you're sure gonna relish. It'll brighten your demeanor. Will it make you feel smart? You bet your wiener. Come on, let's take a peek. Here's Lois with the word of the week.
Tumor.
And how are you this evening?
Fine.
Fine. My name's Tim.
My name's Martin.
Martin?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Martin.
Nice to meet
Where are you
you.
from?
Burlington.
From Burlington?
Yes.
All right. Hey, have you seen the game before? Do you know what we're going to do?
No.
No? Okay. We gave you a word of the week. We're going to give it to you again, and we're going to give you a couple of definitions, okay? You choose which you think is the correct definition, and we're going to let you win a prize, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and give that word one more time.
Tumor.
All right, the word is tumid. Is the correct definition of tumid swollen or affected with swelling as a part of the body, or is tumid Cupid's evil half-brother who spreads tumors instead of love?
Number one.
All right, you're saying number one? Is that what you think? Audience,
Yeah.
Is he correct with number one? He is absolutely correct, so you know what that means. It's time to turn it over to the lovely Miss Jen and take a spin on that wheel. Here we go. All kinds of wonderful prizes up there. Let's find out exactly what it is that you're going to win. And that prize has now landed on, look at this. That wheel is spinning forever tonight. What's it going to be? Look at this, Morton. It's going to be Mamma Mia's. It's still going. Oh my goodness, look at this. It has, congratulations, it's landed on the Green Mountain Inn. You've just won a night's stay with full breakfast at the Green Mountain Inn, featuring its acclaimed restaurants. and 100 guest rooms in the heart of Stowe. Plus, we're throwing in this jar, thank you, Miss Jen, this jar of Jed's maple mud made right up in the Northeast Kingdom.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for playing, and we'll be right back with more Late Night Saturday right after this.
Tonight's episode of Late Night Saturday is brought to you by Absurdity. The perfect tea for Late Night Saturday, senseless, illogical, and contrary to all reason.
That's us, Late Night Saturday, senseless. All right, hey, if you think that you have a lot of spirit in your school or your organization, then we want to see you here at a taping of Late Night Saturday, and we'll highlight you on a show. Yes, indeed. All right. Hey, a couple of things coming up here. The penguin plunge. Any of you folks out there ever done the penguin plunge? Yeah, we actually have people who've done the penguin plunge. I know her. All right. Well, you know what? I have signed up to do the penguin plunge, and if you'd like to sign up too, we'd love to have some of the folks join the Late Night Saturday team. We have 3 plunges. We're not going to be doing all 3, but the 3 plunges are Bennington on February 3rd, Burlington on February 10th, and Newport on February 8th. For more information, you can go to www.penguinplunge.org. Would anyone join the team with me? All right. And we also have an announcement to make. Do you folks remember a little while back we had a wonderful guest here called Mary Linda Rapelier? Remember her from Star Trek? Well, we have a free showing coming up next on the 20th at 9 p.m. Called To Serve All My Days. That's at Palace 9. It is the new film from Star Trek, New Voyages. All right. In late December, 14 daring souls took to the main stage at Higher Ground for Comedy Battle 3. Amidst all the talent, only one could be crowned king. Please welcome the comedy stylings of Mr. Oliver Barkley.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. This song is called You're Ugly. And it goes like this. If you go to the vet and they think you're the pet, you're ugly. If your clothes are all wet from your underarm sweat, you're ugly. If you're at the petting zoo and they start petting you, you're ugly. If you work late night at the Wendy's drive-thru, you're ugly. So many ugly people all around. And most of them are living in this town. Ugly people, please don't mate, or we will have the Planet of the Apes. Ugly people, Lordy, bless your souls. If people can't tell your gender, you're ugly. If your teeth look like they've been put in a blender, you're ugly. I am broke, give me your money, you're ugly. If you don't think this song is funny, you're ugly. Don't feel bad, 'cause I am ugly too. But I feel better just looking at you. You made the plastic surgeon drool, 'cause you will put his kids through school. Ugly people, Lordy, bless your souls. Thank you.
All right, Oliver Barkley, and we'll be right back with Bess O'Brien right after this.
Hayes Ford Lincoln Mercury in beautiful Newport, Vermont. Visit hayesford.com for their complete selection.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome back to Late Night Saturday. Hey, to learn more about Late Night Saturday or to request tickets to be in our wonderful studio audience, what a great crowd. Visit customer service desk at South Burlington's University Mall or log on to our website at latenightsaturday.com. All right, in addition to her many roles with Kingdom County Productions, tonight's guest produced and directed The Voices Project, an in-depth look at the identity, hopes, courage, and concerns of Vermont youth. The outcome was a well-received, vibrant stage production with music that was enjoyed throughout Vermont in 2005. Won't you please welcome Bess O'Brien. fun group, huh?
Yeah, this is so awesome. It's really wonderful. You know, my husband Jay Craven and I and our son Jasper live in the Northeast Kingdom, and we don't get television reception. So we haven't seen the show, so we're going to have to either get a dish or you're going to have to send us a DVD or something. But we're definitely missing out, man. We're definitely missing out.
I can probably arrange a DVD to you.
Okay,
How's that sound?
good,
I can't arrange the dish thing.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't make it that much money.
All right, all right.
All right. You doing well?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you.
You guys are always busy. You mentioned Jay, and Jay's going to be a guest of ours coming up.
That's right.
And you have a bunch of projects, but let's talk about you and Jay for a second, because you started Kingdom County Productions in 1988.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
How did that all come about?
Well, I was actually living in Middlebury, running a theater company down there, and Jay and I had met briefly over the years, and I was thinking in about '88 of going back to New York City and doing theater there. And I wrote Jay a note saying, great to have met you, good luck with everything, I'm leaving the state. And he immediately wrote back to me and said, no, 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 don't leave, don't leave. I'm thinking of leaving Catamount Arts and starting to make movies, and I'd love you to come and work with me and start producing my films. And I thought, that's sort of an interesting idea. I've never worked in films, but it would be exciting. And so to make a very long story short, I went up there, I interviewed, we hit it off, to say the least.
He
and,
probably said, will you marry me?
About a year later.
Very nice.
But anyway, so I started to work for Jay, and our first film was High Water, which was a short story by Howard Frank Mosher, who lives in the Northeast Kingdom. And it was a total trial by fire. We both jumped in and raised the money together and made the thing happen. And it was a lot of fun. And our relationship survived making a movie together. And so we figured, well, if we could get through that together, we probably love each other enough to get married. So we did. And we've been together for 15 years.
15 years, everybody. That's nice. That's very nice.
Yeah.
So you've done a number of different projects. You've mentioned Howard Frank Mosher, and we'll talk about disappearances, but let's talk about the Voices Project, because that was really unique. It involved the youth of Vermont, and it was a project that was a long time in the making for you.
That's right. The Voices Project came about 4 years ago, and it was an idea that I had of creating an original musical based on the lives of Vermont teens. So think Fame, think Rent Goes to Vermont. You know, that's the idea that I had, is I wanted kids to be telling their stories, writing original musical, and I was extremely fortunate to have Blue Cross Blue Shield come on board as my major underwriter. And so they really collaborated with Kingdom County Productions to create this original theater production. We spent about 8 months all over Vermont talking to teenagers, doing workshops, interviews. We talked to over 1,000 kids.
Wow.
Got all their stories, interviewed them, and from all that research, then we created characters, a script, and then we had about 12 kids come in and write the original music.
Unbelievable.
And the music is really quite incredible. I mean, I'm just so proud of the music. And the whole piece. And so then we toured it in 2005 all over Vermont to 13 towns, and played the Flynn, sold out at the Flynn. And it was just a terrific success, really raised a lot of consciousness about what kids were going through and their struggles and their hopes and fears and joys.
And it really comes out in the film. And you talked about the music. We have a quick clip of the show, and it is a music piece. So folks, let's take a look at this.
Communication in space is what we're always missing. Even though I push you, you know I want you there. Cause every time you listen, I know you really care.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? The signal's fading out. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Every word we try to say turns to scream and shout. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? The signal's fading out. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Every word we try to say turns to scream and shout.
Wow, look at that, everybody, huh? I would imagine it just must bring chills back to you, because knowing that the kids were so involved in this.
Yeah, it was. It was really powerful to see the kids up there talking about the things in their lives. And, you know, we really worked hard to make it authentic. We didn't want it to be sort of a top-down adult thing, like adults were talking about what teenagers should do or not do. It was really about kids expressing themselves and expressing themselves creatively. And that was really exciting to see. So.
Yeah. And you've got some exciting news. We're almost out of time here, but tell us what is coming up next with the Voices Project.
Well, we've decided to adapt the musical into a movie. So,
hey, how about that, huh?
So we're going to make the motion picture of the Voices Project, and we're going to shoot it. Actually, probably it looks like in and around Chittenden County, and set it. You know, have Vermont be the location, so kids will be, you know, dancing across the fields and, you know, down dirt roads and in cafeterias and doing all the stuff they're doing in the play, but in the real world.
Which is wonderful.
And the idea is to make a Dynamite movie and then get it out deeper into Vermont and then hopefully beyond Vermont through New England and into film festivals and so on.
Wonderful.
So.
Bess O'Brien, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
And we'll be right back with more Late Night Saturday right after this.
Mamma Mia's Pizzeria. We're more than just pizza, offering a full menu of traditional Italian cuisine. Gateway Plaza, South Burlington.
Mamma Mia's Pizzeria. Boy, if you haven't tried Mamma Mia's, you need to treat yourself and go down there and try their pizza. All right. Best described as a blend of metal, laid-back lounge rock mixed with blues, folk, and jazz sensibilities, tonight's musical guest is like a meeting between Tom Waits and Lou Reed with Rolling Stones hanging out in the back playing pool. Won't you please welcome Joe Adler.
Just crossed my mind, the things left behind always seem so close after you cross that line. A little stitch in time didn't save my 9. You crossed the Rubicon and you go on and on. Trip to see across eternity. Full moon is on the rise. Close my eye, think of your eyes. It just must be true that if you follow through and keep your heart in mind, good things will come to you. Lifting off the ground with a loud undersound just makes me take a pause until my thoughts are found. When you press into me, you fulfill all my dreams. So as I close the song, our love will carry on.
Very nice, very nice. Go right into the microphone.
Thank you very much, man.
Joe Adler, everybody. Very nice. Come right over here. All right, let's meet members of the band here. Go ahead and quickly introduce the band for us, Joe.
We've got Jarmac back here on the stand-up bass.
Very nice.
We've got Mariah on the viola.
Mariah, beautiful.
We've got Mr. Smokey Knowles over here on the harp.
Smokey Knowles, Smokey Knowles. You guys haven't really been together all that long, since 2005, is that correct?
Yeah, well, this actually is a new incarnation of the band that has kind of been around for a couple months now.
Just a couple of months?
Just a couple months.
Wow.
We try to switch it up with the group, bring new people in, just to kind of give everything a little bit of spice of life, variety. But these guys are great. These guys have been, the oomph behind, what I kind of needed.
They're the oomph, and you know what? We're going to hear some more oomph in a little bit from them, and we'll be right back with more Late Night Saturday right after this.
Guests of Late Night Saturday stay at the Windjammer Inn by Bess Western, home of the Windjammer Restaurant and Upper Deck Pub, providing 30 years of great hospitality. The Windjammer Inn by Bess Western is a local business run by local people.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to Late Night Saturday. It is all about local. You're staying at the Windjammer Best Western.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good accommodations for you?
Terrific.
Good.
Yeah, we're excited.
Good, and we're excited to hear more about the Voices Project. That's our guest, Bess O'Brien. We're also joined by Oliver Barkley. Oliver, thanks for being here tonight, and great job with the comedy battle. Everybody, Oliver Barkley. Yes, indeed. All right, so we know that auditions are coming up in the spring somewhere here in Chittenden County, and we can't wait to hear more about the Voices Project. And you'll come back again as a guest?
Absolutely. Once we get the movie up, we'll bring the kids on and have them sing some songs.
All right, and we'll have Joe Adler play some more too. Is that correct? All right, perfect. All right. All right, my thanks to all the guests. Join us next week when we will have Jay Craven with us. Yes, indeed. Along with Resonator and the Burlington High School State Football Champs will be with us. Whoa! Remember to support local talent like the folks that you saw here tonight, and we'll have Joe Adler play us out. Good night, folks. See you next time on Late Night Saturday.
Oh, those daily pains revealing a strength. The truth is behind every window. I cannot pass you by. You are truly who I seek. I love the way you ask questions. As time has passed, I have grown so full of your mind. It takes me to a new frame to think.